How do you know when you're actually ready to have a baby? I mean, some women do say, right, the biological clock goes dong, and they know. Did you have that?
No, I didn't for a really, really long time. In fact, a lot of my friends were having babies when they were like mid-20s, sort of late 20s, but mine didn't kick in at all. And I think I was on this, because I came from absolutely nothing, like I was totally responsible for my own sort of financial well-being for forever. So I wanted to make sure I had a job, I had a career, had a house, found the right man.
Yeah.
By the time all that happened, I was 32 years old. So it's like, blimey. And then when we really started, I was 34, wanted to have children. That's when my clock kicked in at 34. Yeah. And then for years we tried, and it was really at 38, I had Zach.
I think everybody in an ideal world, in an ideal world, would have wanted to find the man and then settle down and have the job and then have the children. It doesn't work like that all the time for a lot of people, especially for me, it didn't work like that. As I said, both of my children were unplanned, both of my pregnancies were unplanned. I'm over the moon. I have two of the most beautiful children, and I'm so proud of them. So, you know, I never really had a chance to get myself ready for that. I know I'm not ready to be a grandmother yet, though, I know that much. But as far as the children were concerned, they were there, they were lovely, and I think because I didn't have much time to think about being pregnant, I was just pregnant, and then 2-3 months later, baby's here, and so you just have to get on with it.
Did you have a really short pregnancy, or did you find out really late?
Well, yeah, I found out really late. I found out really late.
Just to clarify.
With my first, I found out after 5 months pregnant.
Okay.
So, you know, you've got 4 months to find a pushchair and find a pushchair. And I was a single mum with Jamal, so you know, it was. I've said it before. He had to get on my schedule because I had to go back to work and I had to find a childminder. So I haven't got time for that. But it was wonderful when they were there.
Yeah.
When they're here, they are still here.
You didn't have time to think about it. You didn't have time.
Didn't have time to think about it. No, I'm quite glad that I had that kind of bang.
It's happening now.
It's here. Yeah.
You're very organised. I can imagine you.
Yes. I thought, right, get my diary out. Right, have baby. It was pretty much like that. I was quite lucky, actually, that I was in a job on a newspaper that I'd been in for a while. I was a little bit bored, and I kind of thought, you know what, actually, now is the time to have a baby, get the maternity leave business out of the way, and then come back and then look for a new job. So that's exactly what I did. And as I say, I was very lucky because
Well, just even saying that, so that's what I did.
Yeah. I got pregnant when I wanted to, so that was really lucky.
Yeah.
And then I met Gary, and of course I was 40 when I married Gary, and he was 46, I think. And he was kind of like, no, shop shut, I don't want any more kids. And it took me a while to persuade him, and then I sort of said, well, we'll let nature be the referee. And I was so lucky again.
The referee went...
Yeah. I went, woo!
Record!
And it happened very quickly again, and obviously I had Grace when I was 41 or 42 or something like that.
My parents always, they sort of say when I was little, they thought they were doing a really great job, and then they had my sister and realised it was a fluke. It was just literally because my sister's more feisty than me. I was sort of the same with Amy and Finn. When I had Amy, you know, bath time, you know, you see all those adverts and it's this cute little thing with the little bubbles on their head, and they sit and do that, and then literally she was like, you know, when baby's getting into a pram and they do that, and they won't get in, they won't get in, they won't get in. She was like that. Scream, scream, scream to get in. Scream, 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 didn't want to get out. Yeah. And every night it was the same. And it's hard. Yeah, it's very, really, very hard. At times, and then obviously you have moments when it's beautiful.
But it's hard for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know, we talk about babies, it's just for the rest of your life, and it's part of being a parent.
I don't know, is it hard for the rest of... I mean, I remember the very early years being... The lack of sleep I found quite hard.
I think you just worry about your kids, though. I mean, no
I
matter
worry
what
more
age
now.
they are.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know, I just find it so... Like, no, I mean, my kids now are obviously a lot older, but when they walk into the room, I just feel this kind of, like, massive happiness. It's just like, oh, I love it, I love it.
That's really lovely, but I'm just saying that, you know... But would you be worried? I mean, I guess there are worries. You know, perhaps I'm just a worry about my
No,
kids. Who they're
no.
going to marry, what's going to happen?
Oh, no.
all that sort of stuff. I get it, but it's not just about the baby, is it? It's
No.
kind of like a responsibility you have for the rest
I
of
worry
your
more
life.
about Finn now
Yeah.
than I did when he was little, because you have full control when they're
Yeah.
little. And we did a poll and we asked as a parent, did you ever feel like you couldn't cope? And 86% of you said that you couldn't. And can I just say to all 86% of you, you are not alone. We all feel like this.
You had a
all
really
of
nice
us.
story, didn't you?
Yeah. I saw this great phrase the other day. It said, somebody said, I feel like I'm trapped in baby jail. Yeah. And it is a bit like that, isn't it, in the very early days? And I remember being on a group holiday, and there were a couple there who just had twins. They were about 6 months old, I think, the twins. And it was full on. And I could see that the mum was really tearful, and she came back from them having put them to bed in the hotel room with a babysitter, obviously, but she'd obviously had a massive argument with her husband, and she came down, she was really tearful and exhausted, and then he came down and they weren't really speaking very much. And I just sort of sidled over and I said, it does get better. It does get better. I said, just have a look at each other now and remember why you fell in love and just go, see you in 3 years. I said,